let me go. Lord, I know. In control. Though my heart don't let me go. Lord, I know you're in control. Yeah. Lord, I trust you're in control. Though my heart don't let me go. Lord, I know you're in control. Yeah. Have your way, your way, your way. Your Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Lord, I pray, you have your way in me. Yeah. Anytime I'm broken and weak, you give me strength, the strength that I need. Many nights I cried or I weep. Lord, your love stays comforting me. For my life, only want your will. Word of God over how I feel. God is real and yeah, God will heal. God is real and yeah, God will heal. Lord, without you, where would that be? Shackles gone, I'm dancing, I'm free. Jesus, have your way, take the lead. All I want, you're all that I need. I do not know what the future holds, but I do know who holds my future. Yeah. I will trust you, you hold my future. Lord, I trust you're in control. Till my heart don't let me go. Lord, I know you're in control. Yeah. Have your way, your way, your way. Your Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Lord, I pray, you have your way in me. Yeah. Have your way, your way, your way. Your Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Lord, I pray, you have your way in me. Yeah. The God I serve is great, yeah, I know. I will praise through highs and the lows. Know the pressure, now there is hope. Chains of fear, just know that they broke. If all I have is you, I'm at peace. Cause I know I have all that I need. If all I have is God, I'm at peace. Cause I know I have all that I need. Lord, I trust you're in control. Till my heart don't let me go. Lord, I know you're in control. Yeah. Have your way, your way, your way. Your Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Lord, I pray, you have your way in me. Yeah. Have your way, your way, your way. Your Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Lord, I pray, you have your way in me. I let go and I let God. I let go and I let God. I let go and I let God.
Family! Hello. Welcome in, everybody. This is Resilience Talks with myself, Octavia the Overcomer. I'm always happy to see y'all. I see y'all in the comments already. Like, I love y'all. Yes. I see y'all in the comments already. Welcome in, everybody. It's a Tuesday night. I'm ready to encourage. I'm ready to talk. I'm just so ready to be present with you guys tonight. If this is your first time, welcome in. I'm so happy that you decided to join us on Tuesday night where you could have been literally anywhere. All right, y'all, we're going to do a quick roll call because I see y'all in the comments. I see you, Jaira. I see you, Nsiki. I see you, Chris. I see you, Tamara. I see you, Lonnie. I see y'all in the chat. Welcome in, y'all. I promise y'all, it really makes my day when I see y'all names pop up. Yes, absolutely. Like the video, subscribe to AOU. Hey, G, welcome in. Welcome in. It is so good to see each and every one of you all the time. It literally encourages my heart when I see y'all pop up in the comments. If you are here and you're a little shy, it's okay. Don't even worry about it. This is a safe space. We are all interacting with each other, right? We're all talking to each other. We are all encouraging each other. This is what this space is for. All right, so real quick, a real little opener, right? If you could describe your day in a color, what would it be? I'm watching the comments, and I always acknowledge each comment as best as I can. If you could describe your day today with a color, what color would it be? I was trying to think of what a color it would be for today because my day was pretty chill. Chris said yellow. Yeah, I like that. Salmon. Okay. Well, give me the reasons why y'all say these colors because salmon is so specific. Blue. Yeah. I like that. Why did you guys choose those colors in particular? I think for me, I don't know. I want to say a mix between like mellow yellow because it was a chill day. Like I took a nap, y'all. Purple. I see you, Tamara. I see you. Yeah, it was chill and productive. Absolutely, love that. Yeah, I'm more of a. I feel like I'm a mellow. It was like it was a calm day. It wasn't too crazy. Work didn't get too crazy. I had a couple of things I had to do, but it wasn't too bad. But I see y'all. Thank y'all for commenting. If you could describe your day with the color, what would it be? We're going to be talking all throughout tonight, so feel free to hop into the comments. Feel free to talk back to me because look, when you talk back, that means that I'm doing something right. I changed mine to green. Money and on the go. Period. We love the coins. Okay, we love the coins. Period. Hey, Padre, I see you. Hey, Padre, I'm telling you, it makes my heart glad. I look for certain people to be in these lives because you guys have been so consistent and it's an encouragement to me. All right, y'all. So we're going to jump right in. I have some things that I want to say. I have some things I want to talk to you guys about. And I pray that something that is said resonates with your spirit today and that you can take it and carry it with you all throughout the weeks. If you don't know, if you're new here, we have these lives every Tuesday at 8 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. Central Standard, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. So you can always find us here. If you like and subscribe to our YouTube page, to AOU's YouTube page, you'll always get notified when we are going live because there's so much more going on throughout the week with AOU. So if you are not tuned in, if you're not subscribed, do so now. Please do so now. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, sister. All right, y'all. So let's get right into it. Tonight, we're going to talk about something that means a lot to me. So for those of you who don't know my story, or even for those of you who have heard parts of my story, I want to share a little piece of it as it directly relates to what we're going to talk about tonight. So when I was 17 years old, my heart started to fail randomly. Nobody knew why I was failing. And I remember after going to doctor after doctor, no one could figure out what in the world was going on with me. No, they didn't even know my heart was failing at this point. It was just, I was sick. I was having these migraines. I couldn't walk, I couldn't breathe, and I had to drop out of high school at that point because I just couldn't move. I wasn't eating, I wasn't keeping anything down. And so we kept going to doctor after doctor after doctor, and no one could tell me exactly what was going on. They said it was gastritis. Oh, it's just an infection. And, they were prescribing all these medicines to try to treat me. But unfortunately, none of those things worked. And so one night, my mom, she literally had to drag me to the hospital because she was just fed up at this point. And so while I'm at the hospital, they're like, okay, well, since it's so late, we're going to have to wait till the morning time to really assess you and get all the tests that we need for you. And so that very night, it was probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, right? That very same night, I started to vomit up blood. And when I say vomit, I mean just so much blood was coming out, like coming from the inside of me, deep inside of me. And so at that point, the doctors thought it was best to place me in an induced coma. And while I didn't know this back then, but I know now that while I was in that coma physically, God was also putting me in a place of stillness spiritually as well, right? And so tonight we're going to talk about incubation. What is incubation? And I'm just going to add my cute little PowerPoint. You know we do PowerPoints over here. You know we love PowerPoints over here. Okay, we love a presentation. So we talking about this period of incubation. While I was in that coma, God literally had to place me in a position of rest, right? Both physically, because I literally couldn't move. When you're in a coma, you literally can't move, but also spiritually. So what does it mean to be in an incubation? Incubation is a season of personal or spiritual growth, and it's often hidden, private, or unseen, right? So this incubation period is usually not what, it's not open, it's not public. Everyone doesn't know what's happening to you. It's when God is working behind the scenes, right? To do what he needs to do to grow us. And so I was in this coma for a month and a half, right? But while I was in this coma, there were some beautiful things that were happening. Obviously, it didn't look like it because I was all swollen up. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. So from the outside looking in, nothing looked good. But on the inside, God was doing something great inside of me. And so I want to talk to you guys tonight because we have all been in a period of incubation, right? We've all been in a period where it doesn't necessarily look like things are going well for us, but on the inside, God is doing some crazy, amazing things, even if it does not feel like it. So let's talk about some of those things. What does the incubation season bring? What are some things that we talk about when we think about incubation? The first thing is God's protection. He's protecting us from distractions, detrimental influences, or premature exposure, right? This is a season where God is surrounding us, but he seems like he's silent, right? It seems like he is not talking to us. And you know what? He's probably not really speaking a lot. This is the season that we call our waiting season, right? And the waiting season is the most frustrating season, right? It is so frustrating. It's like nothing is happening the way we want it to happen, right? We're not getting the right answers. We're not getting the right direction. We're not getting the clarity that we need. We're not getting the jobs that we want, right? This season of protection, or we're in this waiting season, it just seems so crazy to us, right? So God is literally protecting us. I remember when I was a teenager, and my mom would literally be like, so sorry, you cannot spend the night out. Hey, Drea. I remember my mom would be like, no, you cannot spend the night out. Sometimes God's protection seems like it's punishment. So I wasn't allowed to spend the night out sometimes, or I wasn't allowed to go to parties at a certain time. And that was literally my mom saying, oh no, like it's literally God saying, no, actually you cannot, because there might be something on the other side of this that you may not be able to see, but that's something that might be harmful. We love to do things that we are not necessarily supposed to do, right? We love to do that. But in this season, sometimes it feels like God is punishing us, but really God is protecting us. He's literally saying, I will not allow you to go to these places. I will not allow you to do these things, right? Have you ever been in a season where it was like, oh man, I can't really do this because I know if I do this, this is going to be the consequences, right? It seems like it's punishment, but it's literally God shielding us because it's too much on the line. It's too much on the line for him to just allow us to do whatever we want to do, right? So this is God's protection from us. And I remember, the season when we had COVID, right? That lovely, lovely season of COVID. It was a time, right? That season of COVID, it was a time. So nobody was allowed to go outside, right? Literally, God had to say, nah, the whole world shut down, right? Everybody's incubated at this point, because if you go outside, right, or if you're with other people, you have the ability to infect someone else or to catch something. And so I have to protect you, right? I have to keep you safe because I'm preserving your life. And a lot of times God's protection is preserving our life. Did it suck that we had to stay in the house? Absolutely. Many of us, if we didn't lose someone, we were in the house losing our minds. We were in the house losing our minds because what were we supposed to do? We couldn't do the things that we used to do, right? We couldn't do the things that we normally do. And sometimes when God's protecting us, he's literally removing us from those spaces where, we used to have fun or we used to enjoy. He's literally removing us from those spaces because those spaces are harmful to us. It could be detrimental to who we're supposed to be. It could quite literally kill us. Right? And so God is shielding us from all those things that we may not be able to see, but he knows is harmful for us. And so while it may feel like punishment at times when we're in this incubation period, it's actually not. It's just God saying, no, baby, I got you because I know more than you, right? I know I've created you and I know what comes after this. And I don't want you to have to face those consequences. I love a God that can protect me, right? I love a God that can protect me. The next point, and I started speaking about this earlier, is God's stillness, right? In this incubation period, it is God's stillness. It's that deep internal change happening, and it produces trust and patience and complete reliance on God. So what does that mean? So this is not the season where God is saying no to you, right? This is not the season of no. Protection, yes, he's saying no, absolutely not. But in this season of stillness, right, in the season of waiting, he's saying, not yet, right? He's saying, not yet. And what is this? It's like the same thing as when if you gave a baby money, right? It's like, if you give a baby money, what are they going to do with the money? They're probably going to slob on it. They're probably going to rip it up. They're probably going to, they're going to drool all over it. They're going to mess up the money because they don't understand its value. Right? They don't understand its value. And so sometimes God has us in this waiting season because we will mishandle what he's giving us because we don't know its value, right? We talk about, oh God, I want this job. I want these customers. I want them to purchase my products. I want them to, listen to my music. I want them to listen to me speak. And God is saying, yes to all those things, but not yet. Not yet. There's some things I still need to do inside of you, right? There's some things I still need to take care of inside of you. Another reason why God places us in this waiting season, right, is because he has something much better in store for us. Sometimes we see things and we're like, yes, that's what I want. But God is saying, hold on now, because I got something so much better in store for you, baby. I have so much better in store for you, daughter. I have so much better in store for you, son. Right? It's like, oh, you see that job. It's like, well, you want to be an employee and I'm trying to make you the manager. I'm trying to make you the owner of something, right? He has so much in store for us. He said, my plans for you is to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a hope in the future. God knows exactly what he wants to give you, but we don't always know, right? We tend to idolize the things that we can see, and we don't have enough faith to believe God for more. And so sometimes we'll cling to things because we don't have enough faith to believe that God actually wants to do more in us, right? God actually wants to do so much more in us. It says eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard, right? God wants to blow your mind, but he can't do that if you're so stuck on a certain thing, right? He can't do that if you don't allow him to be God. In this waiting season, it literally requires you to completely trust in him and completely rely on him. I talked about this earlier. If you have a God problem, then allow God to solve that problem for you. Don't try to take on God's work, right? Let him prove to you who he is to you. And how many times has he done it, right? Check his track record. How many times has God done it for us? But we have to wait, right? And a lot of us are not patient. And hello, it's me. It's me. I'm not patient. I'm not patient. I want it done right then and there, right? If I text you, I want to answer right away. Because why are you not texting me back, right? If I'm talking to you, I want to answer right then and there. If I ask you a question, hello, text me back. Like, what is the answer, right? I'm not a very patient person at times. But in the season of waiting, yeah, Kayla, child, okay? In this season of waiting, we have to be patient because in patience, God is producing something so much more in us, right? A lot of times in this waiting season, God is ordering our steps, right? And in order for him to do that, we need clear vision. We need a few more things, right? Can you trust God in your waiting season? Can you have faith when you're frustrated? Can you have faith when you are frustrated? When you want things to move faster, when it feels like you're being blocked, when it feels like things are not happening for you, but you see it happening for everybody else, right? And you know for a fact that you put in the work, right? You've been putting in the work, and it becomes frustrating to have to wait, right? It becomes so frustrating. But I challenge you that maybe you're in an incubation season, right? Maybe you're in the season where God has to do some things to you and for you, right? Maybe you're in that season. Do you have enough faith to believe when you are frustrated? The next thing we're going to talk about is God's refinement. It's challenges that come to test our faith, remove unnecessary baggage, and mold you into the person God has called you to be. I often call the refinement season, or the season of refinement, our stripping season, right? And I don't mean stripper season, I mean stripping. I mean stripping season. And what does that mean? It's literally where it feels like you're losing everything. It feels like everything is lost, right? It feels like it's like your friends, you're losing your friends, you're losing family members, you're losing jobs, you're losing all these things, right? You're losing motivation. It's these things that we're losing, and it feels terrible. It's often the saddest season of our lives, right? Right, sis. I'm not talking about stripping, because somebody might get it confused. We ain't talking about stripping over here. We're talking about the stripping season, right? It often feels really difficult to get through it. This is usually the time where a lot of us get depressed, where a lot of us are, very sad. We don't have any motivation to do anything. Yeah, losing security, right? Yeah, absolutely. Losing security. Make it plain, I'm weak. When we're losing security, we're losing money. Baby, can I tell you, we're out here losing finances, right? In this refinement season, it just feels like a loss, right? It feels like everything is just being taken away from us. But can I challenge you? Sometimes we have to be stripped in order for God to download in us, right? In order for us to be who God calls us to be. Some of us need to be stripped of our thoughts, right? Our thoughts about ourselves. Some of us have thoughts about ourselves that are so negative, right? Some of us struggle with that. We'll say the craziest things we'll think the craziest things about ourselves. We doubt our capabilities. We doubt what we're able to do. Yeah, we living in a Trump world. You're absolutely right. We're finna be stripped of everything, child. Medicaid, everything. Pensions, all that. We finna be stripped, okay? But that's why I trust God, right? I don't trust man. No man. I trust God, right? But sometimes in a stripping season, God has to take away that excess weight, right? That excess weight has to be taken off of us because it's holding us back. So when we're in this season where we're losing things, even though it might be painful, understand that God is taking the things away that doesn't need to be there, right? Some of us are terrible with our language. Some of us are terrible with our language. I'm one of those people. I have a friend, right? Because and I think you guys have noticed too, and it's not just one friend, but a couple of friends have kind of checked me on my language, and it's because it comes from a place of insecurity, right? I'm always like, I don't know if I could do that, or nah, I'm always constantly doubting myself. I'm constantly doubting the things that God has given us, and so I have a friend who literally every time I say something, they're like, But why would you say that? Why would you speak that over yourself? Like, why would you say that? And it's like, I don't have an answer, right? And it's because I've rooted a lot of my language in insecurity. I've rooted a lot of my language in doubt. And so many of us have. We've doubted the power that God has given us. And so when we're speaking, we're not speaking from a place of power. We're speaking from a place of fear, right? We're speaking from a place of anxiety. And that's what's happening a lot of the time. So when we're in this refinement season, God has to strip us of that language. He literally has to take it away because it's not conducive for what he's trying to do. It's not conducive. It's not conducive for you, and it's not conducive for the purpose that he's called you to do, right? The purpose that he's called you to carry out. That is the refinement season. We're moving right along, y'all. We're moving. Here is God's purpose revealed. The place where God's purpose for your life is revealed. This is where the vision becomes clear and your identity is confirmed. Now, I don't know about y'all, but in this waiting or in this incubation period, I want God to reveal exactly what it is that he wants for me to do. No, I may not have all the steps. I may not have all the information, but I need clear direction. God's purpose reveal is God's clarity, right? It's God's clarity for our lives. This is where he gives us the most clarity, but we have to be in a mindset to receive it, right? We have to be mature enough to receive it. Because never does God want to give us a premature direction, and then we don't know what to do with it. How many times had God given us something and we were like, okay, God, I'm going to do that. And then we go try and do it, but it wasn't for that time because we wasn't called to do it right then and there, right? And that comes from just not being spiritually mature enough, trying to do things outside of his will, trying to do things outside of his timing, right? But God, in this season, God reveals to us what we're supposed to do and how do we find purpose, right? How do we get to our purpose? We literally have a Bible. We literally have the Bible that gives us all the instructions of who we are called to be. And not just who we are called to be, who we are in him. He gives us a Bible that will tell us just exactly who he believes we are, exactly what he thinks of us, right? And I know sometimes life gets so hard and it doesn't feel like we're called to do anything, right? It doesn't feel like we're called, but we are a chosen people. We are chosen to give God glory, but we're also chosen to show the world who God is. And you know what? You don't have to be bashful about it. You don't have to go to people and say, hey, I believe in God. Do you believe in God? You don't have to do all of that. But your life should be a living testament of God's love and God's purpose in you. And when you are fully living in that purpose, God will be all revealed through it, right? People often say to me, oh, it's something different about you. When I'm interviewing for jobs, I may not even have the credibility. I may not even have, I may not even meet all the requirements. But it's something that people see. It's God. It's God's anointing over your life. When you walk and you live in your purpose, when you walk and you live in God's love, it just shows naturally. It's nothing that you have to do, right? You don't have to do much because it naturally comes out of you. What's in you will come out of you, right? So if God's love is in you, it will naturally come out of you. So in this season, in this incubation season, God will reveal his purpose to you. What is it, God, that you would have me to do? How can I touch people? How can I move people? How can I encourage people? How can I show more of you? God, what talents, what gifts have you given me to use for your edification? This is a season where God is going to give you clarity, right? And not just clarity, but he'll confirm your identity. So you don't have to live in a place of insecurity. So you don't have to live in a place of despair. You don't have to live in a place of doubt. You don't have to live in those places because God is making it clear to you. And this is my last slide for tonight. God is preparing us in this incubation period. This is the place God intends for you to prepare yourself for what is to come. Tap in to those gifts, the vision, and the anointing that God has given you. Each and every one of us has something that we are good at. Allow God to strengthen those things, right? But also prepare. Take a step of faith. It says faith without works is dead. So you may have that faith, but you also have to take a step. Right? You also have to move forward, right? So that means if you want to be a speaker or you want to be a motivational speaker, go look at some videos. Go on ChatGPT. We have so many resources available to us, right? Start preparing those things. As my sister Jaira says, this is production time. This is a time for you to produce, right? But you're doing all the work behind the scenes, right? So if you have a business and you're introducing it to social media at some point, you're figuring out what you need for that business, what your target audience is, what kind of videos do you want to post on social media. This is when you're doing all the things behind the scene, right? And allowing God to minister to you and allowing God to prepare you. This is the production season. This is production behind the scenes, right? It's not even you putting the stuff out there. This is me preparing for it, right? This is me preparing for what God is going to do, because I understand that God is finna blow my mind. And I fully believe that in whatever season I'm in. I fully believe that he's going to show up and show out for me, because he don't play about his children. He don't play about y'all. And once you understand that, then you're like, okay, God, let me get to work. I told y'all this last week. Tighten up. Tighten up. It's too much for us to do. It's too much for us to do, right? It's so many things that God wants to download in us. There's so many things that he wants us to do, but we can't do that if we don't have vision. We can't do that if we're not prepared, right? Because best believe when God decides to open up doors and God decides to bless, baby, I'm going to be right in the front. Like, oh yeah, God, I did the work, right? I went through my incubation season. I was able to heal, right? I was able to heal from heartbreak. I was able to heal from a messed up mindset, right? I was able to heal. I was able to recover, right? When I was in that coma, I couldn't do anything. But when I came out, baby, I was ready to take on the world. You hear me? I was trying to walk before my body would even allow me to walk, because I wasn't playing. I was like, oh, I got the rest that I needed, right? I went through that season of incubation. I was able to allow my organs to recover and to get stronger, right? And so I was ready to take on the world. What you mean I can't walk? Oh, baby, we getting up out this bed. We getting up out this bed. I ain't staying in this hospital bed. I'm ready to go, okay? So whatever I need to do to prepare for me to leave the hospital, I'm going to do it, right? And so that's what that means, to prepare. Get ready now. Don't wait for God to bless you and then be like, oh, okay, well, now I need to do this. Now I need to. No. Prepare before the blessing. So when it comes, you're ready. So when it comes, God is like, here you go. This is what you've been asking me for. And I'm ready to give it to you now, because you're ready. You're prepared. I encourage each and every one of you, if you are in a waiting seat, or if you're in an incubation period, right? If you're in an incubation season, talk to God. Talk to God. Now, some of you may say, well, how do I know if I'm in an incubation period, right? How do I know? Well, do you feel like your life isn't necessarily adding up to what you think it should be adding up? Ask yourself that. Do you feel like you need to draw closer to God in these moments? Do you feel like God is preparing you? Do you feel like you're in a season of isolation? Right? Do you feel like you're being set apart? And I don't say isolation in a negative way, but I say isolation in the sense that you can't be around everybody in the season because your spirit is too vulnerable. Your spirit is too raw right now. Do you feel like you need to step away from a few things? Right? These are the questions that you should ask yourself. Do you feel like things are being delayed or blocked in some way? You might be in an incubation period. And I know that when you're in the incubation period, it is tough because you're going through so many things, so many emotions. And it may seem like chaos. It may seem like pure chaos. But a lot of times, it may look like that on the outside, and it may even feel like that on the inside. But God is literally molding you and shaping you into who he needs you to be in your next season. After every season of incubation comes a season of expectation, great expectation. Yeah, rejection is divine protection. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rejection is divine protection. Look, I'm telling you, sometimes God will protect us from the things that we want, right? And it's because we're children, right? We're children to God. We don't always see. We don't always see clearly. We don't always see ahead, right? Only God can do that. Rejection is divine protection. Not being included in some things, it is for your protection. It is for your good, right? Not being included. I know a lot of us like, oh, well, I don't like to feel like I'm being excluded from things. I don't like to miss out on things. Well, it might be for your own good. Have you ever considered that maybe God knows what he's doing? And then you have to believe that God is ordering your steps. If you don't believe that, then you probably don't consider that. But God is ordering each and every one of our steps. So that might mean God is saying no in this season because he's trying to shield you. It might mean God is saying not yet in this season because he's still doing some things inside of you. He's still doing some things. God might be saying, I need to take some things away from you because it's not serving you. And a lot of times we hold on so tightly to those things because we don't want to lose them. We hate to lose. We hate to lose. But in losing, you're actually winning. In losing, you are actually winning. Sometimes losing those things is for your benefit. Losing those people in your life is for your benefit. Losing that mindset is for your benefit. Sometimes God has to do some things in us in order for us to understand, to come into full understanding of what it is that he wants to do. And not just what he wants to do, who he wants us to be, right? Baptism by fire breathes the phoenix fire, and he has his hand over our lives at all times. Absolutely. Absolutely. He has his hands over each and every one of us. God loves us too much to allow us to forfeit our destinies. He loves us too much to allow us to forfeit our destinies. So if he has to say, no, I'm going to shield you right now, then he will, because he loves us too much. And I say this all the time. Your purpose is connected to somebody else's, right? And if you never get to that purpose, if you never see that purpose, or if you never live out that purpose, then the other people that's connected to you won't either. You have to understand how powerful you are. You literally hold lives in your hands. And it may not seem that deep, right? Because it's like, oh, well, I just sing, like I just sing. Or I just do hair. I just sell hair. It ain't that deep. It might not seem that way. But when you understand that, well, if you post on social media about your hair business, then you're encouraging somebody you may not even know to start their hair business or to start their music career. You never know. You just never know. And so we have to live out our purpose. But we can't do that until we go through this incubation phase, this incubation period in our lives. So I challenge each and every one of us to really, really ask God, like, hey, God, what is it that I need in this season? Where am I? What is my position in this season of my life? Are you calling me to protection? Are you calling me to step away? Are you calling me to prepare in this season? Are you calling me to produce in this season? Right? Are you calling me to start moving in this season? What is it that you have for me to do? This is the incubation period, and I hope that y'all got something out of this, that something that was said, ministered to you or helped you in some way. But that's all I got, y'all. This is the incubation period. I really wanted to talk about this because a lot of times we don't understand our position in Christ. We don't understand the seasons of our lives, and it feels heavy, right? It feels heavy. It doesn't feel good. In fact, it feels disgusting. It's like, why am I here and how did I get here? Right? Why am I here and how did I get here? Trust and believe that God knows everything that's going to happen. He knew even before you were born what was going to happen in your life. Trust that he knows what he's doing, right? Trust that the things that you're going through is for his glory. I see you, Kayla. I'm so happy that this helped you. I'm so happy that you came. Thank you for being here. This is your first time here, and I appreciate you for coming in. Thank you, because you could have been anywhere. All right, y'all. I love y'all. We will be back here next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, if you have not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's ALU, youtube.com/@ALUfam. You're my motivator. Oh, Padre, I love you. I'll call you after. Also, if you haven't already, love you too, sis. If you haven't already, I have some stuff coming up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/@Octavia the Overcomer. It's literally my name on here, @Octavia the Overcomer. It's literally my name. If you know me from social media, it's my name. Subscribe to my YouTube as well. There's some more things coming up. There's some great things in store for each and every one of us. And I am so grateful to share with you all. I love you too, sis. All right, y'all. Y'all have a beautiful night. I will see y'all next week. Later.